Good mid-morning to my econ students. Today I'm starting class from my view board, a little different. Get to stand up for once, but mainly because we're going to be watching our only film today. And I'm using my view board for that. But before we get started on that, we want to do today's bell work. And we've done a version of this vocabulary exercise before where I assign you a vocabulary word or a term, and I have you match up with somebody else. And then you have to take those terms and create a sentence or two or three or four, depending on how many you need, to show the connection between the two terms and show that you understand the terms the way you're supposed to. This version today is a little different. You get to choose your terms, and you guys are going to be putting your sentences on a table, a class table, okay? And I was just thinking right now, I did put it in Google Classroom, right? I am almost 100% positive, but I forget what I do for each period is a little different. All right. So you all have access to the same table for the vocabulary exercise. So you're not making your own copy or anything like that. So you're going to be adding to it. Okay. So let's look at the directions before you guys get started. I'm going to put you on a timer here in a minute. So you're going to choose 4 vocabulary terms total from your second quarter vocabulary journal. So the new one, not the old one. 2 from the first week, which was last week, and that covered business organizations, the different types of business organizations. And then 2 from this week. So 2 from last week, 2 from this week. Okay. And I looked at last periods, and there's students aren't following directions. They're like have one word. Okay. So 4 total, 2 and 2. You get to choose which ones. You're going to come up with a well thought out explanation that shows that these words are all connected in sentence form. You can use as many sentences as you need. You can make a paragraph, although I don't necessarily want to read a big old long paragraph, but that's okay. You can challenge me, right? Whatever you need to do. Sometimes it's easier to create a story. I was walking down the street, going to the store, and you're using these words. Other times it's easy, to stick to a more traditional explanation type of a strategy, but it's up to you. However you want to communicate to me is okay. Remember, you're always using complete academic sentences and punctuation. You guys are getting a little bit lazy with, not capitalizing the first letter in a sentence and using punctuation and proper spelling. You guys have spell check on there. Use it. Okay, I love spell check. And then you're going to add your sentences to the class table in Google Classroom. I'm warning you, which I usually shouldn't have to, right? But sometimes you guys feel a little silly and you mess with other people's rows. So if somebody's already writing on that row, don't mess with it. Go to your own. There's enough. There should be enough for everybody. If not, you can add a row, or I'll go in and make sure. But I'm pretty sure I made sure at the beginning to create enough rows for you. Don't delete. Don't move. Don't mess with other people's rows. We have version history, so we can see who's doing what. And I don't, you're seniors, so don't risk it. It's not worth it. Okay, stick to your row. Don't copy other people's information. I can see it right in front of me, if it's the exact same as somebody else's, and I can see who typed it first. All right. So we're going to do that for bell work. Okay. And I want you to open that table so at least you can see, and I'm going to share. This is what it looks like, okay? And one of the things I need you to do is, so make sure you type your full name. Don't be putting your nickname, okay, or your Instagram name or your Snapchat or any of that. Just your first and last name. I don't need like all the other last names that you have. You don't have to make it big and long, okay? Just your normal first and last name. You know who you are. You guys out there that have a lot of last names. Just the first and last is fine. But if you want to put your full name, that's okay too. And then your sentences put on your row there. And I need you to highlight your 4 vocabulary terms that you chose. If I don't see them highlighted, I'm not going to grade it. Okay, so please follow directions. Make sure you highlight those vocabulary terms that you're using when you're done. Okay, and I'm going to give you 10 minutes now to do it. But if you don't finish, it's okay. You can still think about it. If it takes you a while to think about and finish, you need to finish it. You can finish it later on after the 10 minutes. Okay, so let me get my timer, my phone. Does anybody have any questions before I set the timer and go take roll on what you're supposed to do? Put it in chat if you have a question. It seems, I mean, we've done this before. It's just a little bit different format. Okay, just in a table. Of course, you just got here. Read those directions, and then if you have questions on what to do, then let me know in the chat, and I'll answer those if you have more questions. Okay, so I want to get started because we do have that film, part of the film to watch. So 10 minutes, okay, 10 minutes, and begin. Just about 1 minute left, so finish up the thought you're on. All right, go ahead and stop. Let me pull up a couple to read out loud. Let's see. I'm not going to say names, okay? I mean, obviously you guys can see it all in front of you. And I haven't looked at any of these. So it looks like some of you have picked your words and you just got to put them all together, right? Let's see. Capitalism gives people more economic freedom because it allows them to voluntarily exchange goods and services. Wow, impressive. There is competition between those that provide goods and services, and competition between the ones trying to buy them. That is actually true. As consumers, there are times where we compete against each other, like on eBay, right? Or Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. And we want to try to get the best price. And that is why capitalism is so important, because it helps to keep, competition. See, I even got the two C's mixed up. That's why competition is important. You want options for consumers because it helps to drive prices down.